if a person gives even a little space for sense enjoyment, then he is put into this whole cycle of life, of birth, death, old age and disease. A little space makes a mess. You see, I am reminded of this story of Indra. Usually, whenever there is somebody in the material world who is doing a lot of nice austerities, tapasya, yagam, and is almost getting near to become a threat to Indra's position, he usually sends Menaka or somebody and disturbs their austerity. So at one point, there was this one saint who was doing a lot of austerities in a forest. And this time, probably the other apsaras were very preoccupied disturbing the other saints. So Indra took it upon himself to go and disturb this particular Rishi. I'm not able to remember his name now. To disturb his austerity. So what he does is, Indra goes just like the way he is in his own rupa. He goes and knocks at the door, because this Rishi, the sadhu, he's staying in a small hut in a forest. He's given up, all his material luxuries and is staying very simply, very austerely. He just knocks on the door. It's twilight. And the sadhu opens the door and he's surprised to see somebody looking very kingly. So then he's surprised to see this person in all kingly dress. And then he says, well, I'm a king from a neighboring place. I had come here hunting. Looks like I've lost my way. So I'll somehow manage to go back. But the point is, I'm just carrying so many weapons with me, and especially this particular sword. It's very heavy. So I have to, take it all the way back to my palace. So can I just keep it here and I'll come and pick it up tomorrow. So the sadhu is like, no. Can you just see how I live? I'm so simple and I live so austerely and I don't want any material things inside my hut. So he's like, look, I'm not asking you to keep it forever. I'll just pick it up tomorrow morning. It's very heavy for me to carry. Just help me out. Keep it with you and I'll take it back the first thing in the morning. So when he kept on insisting, the sadhu said, that's all right. At least don't keep it inside my hut. You just keep it outside somewhere, And Indra is like, but look, it's very costly. I don't want somebody, because it's studded with diamonds. I don't want anybody should steal it. So now the sadhu is like, nobody's going to steal it. Just keep it there. Nothing will happen, And then he says, fine. So then Indra puts the sword there and he goes away. Now it's morning and the sadhu is waiting that the king's soldiers may come and pick it up. But nobody comes. And then he waits for another day. And then he waits for another day. And then nobody's coming up. So now, after a couple of days and few months, the point is, see, the sadhus, they are sattvic. So they keep everything very neat and clean. So he has a habit to clean the whole place outside his hut, just put some water, keep it neat and clean, because they don't want any insects coming inside. Now there is a problem, because of that sword lying there, he's not able to clean it properly. So he doesn't want to even touch it. So one final day, with lot of, reluctance, he just picks up the sword from that place to another place and cleans up the place where the sword was lying for a long time. And after a couple of days, he picks the sword from this place and puts it on the other place to clean up this side. Now what happens, initially he was a little reluctant to even touch it, but now he just got used to keeping it from here to there and there to here to clean it up. Later on, after a few days, he thought, the king is not turning up, and what if somebody, because I go to get the fruits and berries and roots, and if I'm going in the jungle and somebody may just, better to keep it inside. So he started keeping it inside the house. And after a few days, he was like, what if somebody steals it from inside? The king is going to definitely ask me, because he has kept faith on me. So better I take it with me wherever I go. So he started carrying that sword with him wherever he was to go out for bathing in the river or collecting some fruits and all. So finally he started carrying it right on his shoulder. He made this and he carried it. Then it so happened one day that the sage was plucking some berries, and then a snake propped up from the branch, and the immediate instinct, because he had that weapon, so he just took it out and he just smashed the head, cut the head of the snake. And then he was feeling bad. Oh, what did I do? But then he thought, anyway, it was self-defense. There was no other choice. So later on, what happened, as the time passed by, he started killing animals more and more, and then every time he used to tell his mind, well, it's self-defense, otherwise they're going to attack me. And then slowly he got so attached to that sword. And then that was the end of the story, because he got so attached and he started killing unnecessary, even those animals which were not disturbing, for the fun of it, because now he got power. And then Indra up there in Amravati was like pleased, oh, mission accomplished, I got my job done. So now what exactly happened was just a little bit, he allowed, otherwise he was doing great, he was doing very well in whatever his austerities or whatever he had thought about doing. So what happened, just a little space, and that's about it. It destroyed the whole thing. So sometimes, apparently in our lives also, just sometimes we're doing very well, but if we allow a little space from somewhere, and then a new story begins. And that is why you see in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are so many stories specifically trying to drive this point home, that devotees have to be all the more careful. Even we see Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is always telling devotees should be more careful, because they're just almost there, and a little mistake here and there, and they'll have to. It's like the game of snakes and ladder. When we were young, we used to just play this game. 1, 2, 3. You just almost there at 99, and then you have to just get one thing right. And if that one thing goes wrong, then there is a snake at 99. He catches you, and then you have to go all the way, play the game all over again. So we see in the life of Bharat Maharaj also, he was doing very well, but then a little attachment with the deer, and then the whole thing. So the whole point is attachment, desires, actions based on desire, motivated by desires. What is making us taking birth again in this world? It's just two things, our desires and karma. The actions based on this desire, and there's two things keep us in the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. So here.
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna lage. Sab Krishna, Krishna, Krishna lage. Sab Krishna.